of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty and everlasting God, who presides over all things in heaven and earth, come and preside over these deliberations, so that those that make the decisions may be guided by your wisdom.
Amen. Roll call, Mr. Barrett.
Here.
Mr. Brooks.
Here.
Mr. Mirren.
Here.
Mr. Belushko.
Here.
Mrs. McClay.
Here.
Also in attendance is Mayor George Brown, Controller Tony Thomas, Administrator Charlie McCormick, City Attorney Tim Henry, Assistant City Clerk Tracy Smith, Administrative Assistant Lisa Sanfilippo. Good evening. Welcome to the regular session of council. Please turn off all cell phones. Following are examples of some important council rules. They are not intended to be a complete list. Please adhere as closely as possible to the 5-minute speaker presentation time limit. No persons are allowed to address the council from beyond the rail, except the speaker at the dais who has the floor. The chairperson shall preserve order and decorum and prevent attacks on personalities. The chairperson shall determine all points of order. No persons except city officers or their representatives shall be permitted within the rail during any meeting without the express permission of council, and council kindly asks that the public please vacate the building within 10 minutes after the meeting adjourns. Finally, when members of the administration are speaking, please use the microphone. Pending legislation. Anybody?
Public input on pending legislation? Sam?
That up.
Could we go off the record just for 10 seconds? Just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Despite disagreements and problems in the past, there's still a team here, sort of, right? I mean,
Happy New Year, Sam.
thank you.
Great.
And also congratulate Jessica McClay as being appointed new chairwoman. Oh, wait, you're supposed to give me, that's off the record now. Now you guys are tough.
Thank you, Sam.
That's a bad way to start the new year. No mercy.
No mercy.
Well, anyway, back to business, right? Congratulations,
Thank
we're in
you.
order, right? Anyway, I want to add to that, and I'll get right to the end of the agenda. Just 5-10 more seconds. I would hope that this appointment might lead to a little more transparency, accountability, and democracy on the local level. Not to say that your predecessor was hostile to those values, but I think you might be more open to them. Anyway, the appointments, as I indicated in the past, the Industrial Development Authority is a very critical organization, and I'm confident Larry Newman is doing the job, is certainly capable, but I would like to see, I guess the other two are not here, I don't know if they are, but I would like to see a precedent set where people who are renominated or reappointed to all these boards and authorities can attend the meeting and indicate what their qualifications are. I don't think that hurts because, sometimes we get incapable people up there and it leads to bad decision making. And as a result, the city and the taxpayers can suffer, maybe not significantly, but to some extent. Anyway, the main thing I want to address here, as far as the fuel supply to, I understand PSC, Petroleum Service, who used to be in business years and years ago. See, I'm ancient history here. Tire and automotive business, and we used to deal with them, and they were very reliable and honest. But I just wondered if I know as far as I could tell, the city did do its homework and try to get the lowest possible contract. I understand it's like $1.85 or something a gallon, which seems pretty reasonable. I guess very reasonable. I certainly would like to buy gas for that amount. Maybe you could allow a few taxpayer cars to come in there now and then, Mayor, maybe once a month and fill up at that cheaper price, no? But I would think that the normal process is trying to compare what other municipalities pay. Maybe Wilkes-Barre Township, for instance, is paying lower rate for their fuel supply, or Kingston Township, or 44, whatever. Did anybody bother checking around, or the mayor? I don't know who negotiated this. I guess it was the mayor. I mean, as I said, it seems like a good price. City's been doing business with them for a number of years. And maybe it's time to look around for a change. Maybe you can get a better break from somebody else. And the last thing, not the least, is the $30,000 contract which still seems to be ambiguous to me. I know you'll have to reprimand me for not being here Tuesday night, but I understand I wasn't appointed to being on the payroll yet. So I figured, why come if I wasn't getting paid? But I still don't know all the details of this. Let me just ask a couple of questions. I don't know if anybody can answer them. I don't usually get straightforward answers to my questions. But I understand that Kings, why does Kings have to get approval from the city? This is not like a FSA, what do you call that grant? LSA grant, where the city acts as a conduit, is it? So why didn't Kings apply directly for the $30,000? It's still taxpayer money, even though it might not be coming from from our coffers. And what is it going to be used specifically for? I don't see where this, I mean, we've got a health department which is budgeted, what, about $12–15 million with salaries and everything else? There's a lot of employees there. I'm not saying it's an entire waste of money. Why can't the city's health department administrate this program? Isn't there some, and the question also arises, I don't know what you think, Mr. Brooks, you're always looking for overlaps, aren't you? In this sort of legislation, in this resolutions that you're going to pass, is the city already indulging or engaging in this sort of a thing? I mean, the city's health department. If that's the case, why does Kings need the $30,000? And as I always have maintained with a very strong emotion that there's no reciprocation on the part of Kings for all that the city does for them. Very little, if any. Is there increase in the pilot? None. Is there maybe a small decrease in intuition for Wilkes-Barre residents? None. All right, that's all I got to say. I guess my time is up. I mean, I may not drop dead, but my time speaking is up.
Ms. McClay, I just want to correct for the record, the gentleman stated that our health budget was $12 to $13 million. It's $1.5 million.
And as far as the gas, that was a bid, so that was put out for bid.
That was the lowest bid?
That was the lowest bid.
The only bid.
The only
The
bid.
only bit.
We typically are.
Turn your name around.
Anybody else on public? Okay.
Okay, then we'll need a motion and a second on the consent agenda, which is the 3 resolutions in the minutes.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Barrett,
Second?
second by Mr. Bushko. Mr. Barrett?
Yes.
Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. Marin?
Yes.
Mr. Belushko?
Yes.
Mrs. McClay?
Yes.
Okay. Council presentation.
One stop shopping.
Mr. Barrett?
The only thing since Tuesday is a couple utility cuts, and I think there's probably a running list. PA Water, Scott and George Ave, and Scott and Laird Street. Both were recent water breaks. I know it's hard to do permanent repairs this time of year, but if we can just reach out to them, and they've sunk in quite a bit, and they're in a very busy road there. So if we can just have those addressed, I just meant to bring them up before this, but maybe they can do something. That's it. Thank you.
Bill?
Sir?
Yep.
Sorry.
Bill, oh, wait. So we did find a hot asphalt plant that's open now.
Oh, really?
So we are making permanent repairs instead of just the loose repairs. So I want to reemphasize to the folks, the public, that if you continue to contact Lisa Sanfilippo about, you hear me, Sam? Hear me? Sam, can you hear me? Okay.
No.
Anyway, I want to reemphasize that if people do call Lisa, it'll be repaired with the hot patch machine. So we're continually going out because we did locate a hot asphalt plant, okay, that we can go up, get the hot asphalt, continue to make a permanent patch. So don't think because of the wintertime that's just going to be the loose patch. It's going to continue to be that hot asphalt.
Thank you. Good to know.
Yeah.
Mr. Brooks?
I'm good. I spoke to Charlie this afternoon about a problem on Blackman Street. Thank you.
Mr. Marin?
The only thing I had to talk about, I talked about on Tuesday, like for our next meeting, if we can get some data on how many rental properties we have So to see how much revenue we can maybe increase by increasing the rental inspection fees and licensing fees for landlords. That's all I have.
Mr. Belishko.
Charlie, Mayor, city streets that are going to be paved this coming year and any, the list of blighted properties that we're going to raise? Can we get a list of both of those?
Mike, we did publicize a list of the roads that are getting paved, but we'll make sure you get it again.
Oh, okay, I just didn't see it.
And we met today about we call it a blight remediation plan, where we go out, and it's when the health department goes out and they identify properties that we should be looking at. We send an engineer out to see if it's structurally sound or not, so forth. So we're putting together our newest 2026 blight remediation plan. And then we look at what properties should be remediated, what should be torn down, whatever the case may be, rebuilt. So we're putting that plan together. So last year we created that list, so we're creating a new list, Mike.
Okay.
We'll get the list of street pavings that we put out about 2 months ago.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. That's all, Ms. McClay?
Yep, thanks. I only have two things. So I gave you 309 North Main Street on Tuesday, but I drove past there today on the way home, and there's even more garbage. It's actually on the sidewalk now and on the side of the house. I actually don't know if anybody's living there or not. And then East Main Street, the sidewalk's going up into Plains. So right past the gas station. Can we look at either replacing, repairing? They are pretty much gone. Like they're actually pretty bad there.
Railroad tracks. Love it.
After the, where,
Near
right after.
Junior's gas station, it's called. By the old Savitska.
They're, as you know, they're adjoining property owners' responsibilities. And we might be able to apply for a grant, but I'd have to talk with Mark whether they're sidewalk grants, but they're.
So it's actually not in front of any property, and when I look on the map, it says it's ours?
I don't know, so.
Yeah, if you could-
Yeah, I'll check it, but
Okay.
my memory is, we don't generally have sidewalk repairs, and they're very expensive, so if you're gonna do it because
Yeah.
of all the PennDOT requirements, the minute we touch it, then we gotta go into all of the PennDOT requirements, and that multiplies very, very quickly. So without a grant type of situation, it's unlikely we'd have enough money this year to do those things.
Thank you. All right, public discussion. Virginia Thomas.
Good evening, and thank you for listening again. Dana Street, between Hazel and Park Ave. Mr. Mayor, I came last month to thank you for the help that you had given me 2 months ago. Why is this street torn up again? I was told in December that that job was finished, that our homes were hooked up to the new water lines, and the only thing left to be done now was the repaving. Why are they digging the street up again? Come down Dana Street. A couple of the councilmen have been down there, and they know what it's like. Mud is dragged into the houses, the tree lawns are tore up, the water connector, I guess, whatever it is, the pipe that comes up out of the ground in the tree lawn, they were up about this far out of the ground. Now they're all sunk down in. The same holes are ripped open, dug up, sinking, even though they put all of that patch stuff in there every night before they go home. Today was a beautiful day. Nobody's been there in 2 days to do anything. The guys that left on Tuesday, they told me when they were leaving that this was done. I said, what do you mean it's done? I said, this isn't going on since June. Why isn't this done? Why are we still dealing with this? You're never, ever, ever going to get the mud and dirt off of our properties, our cars. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for it. I can't stand it. They walked down the street Tuesday night before they were leaving taking pictures of where they put that patch stuff into those holes. So I guess they have proof that they closed it up. Go up there, it's all open up again. It's not, there's no reason we're gonna need our houses, oh, I can't think of the name.
Pressure wash.
Pressure clean.
Pressure washed. Our cars, our houses, we're never gonna get the mud out of there. And you can't get into your house without bringing mud from the street. You can't get out of your car and walk around to get on the sidewalk without going through mud. No tree lawns, which would be great if I don't have to cut grass in the summer. But what's it look like?
Right.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand why these utilities can get away with this. The one guy said to me on Tuesday, I said, this has been going on since June. He said, well, we weren't here in June. I said, yeah, I know. I heard that they had to fire the company they had and they hired you guys. We're still dealing with the same nonsense. Can we not pay our water bill? Can we refuse to pay our water bill until they finish this? And you're going to tell me the city can't do anything about this? These utilities can get away with this? It's not fair. There's no reason for it that I can understand, and I can't believe that the city can't put some pressure on the water company or the utility or the construction company that's doing it to get this taken care of. There is no reason that your citizens should have to live for 6 months and longer with this condition of their road. It looks like if you went up to, best example I can think of is if you went up to Eckley Miners Village, where there was no roads, it's just dirt and mud. And every time it rains, it's worse. And that's what it's like. It's not a street. It's like they're going through a swamp. It's ridiculous. We'll never get our houses clean. We'll never get our cars clean. And who knows what's going to happen when if this was done like they told me back in December and it was just waiting for the paving, why are they there digging it all up again? They dug up at the end by Hazel Street, they dug up at the end by Park Ave, then they came back down the middle in front of my house. I have pictures on my phone, which I have sent to the council before. And I did new ones last week showing that they've got it all ripped open again. Why? Nobody has any answers. I don't have any answers either, but I've had it. There's absolutely no reason for the city to let them get away with this.
Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Ms. Thomas, come back here, please. Now, I rarely get angry about things that you're right. This is not fair. Again, this is utility communication failures with the residents, since June?
Yeah.
I guarantee you if this was on Millionaire Row and Lantern Hill up in Shavertown, it'd be done right away. I don't understand that these public relations executives that all these utility companies have six-figure salaries can't go door to door telling you exactly what's going to happen. I really think we should need to look at how we can strengthen our pave cut enforcement, the pave cut ordinance, give DPW some more real enforcement tools for deadlines and fines and tracking systems, force utilities to restore the streets properly and on time. And I think what would be nice is we have a tracking system for you, the resident, can go to our city website and see exactly what is happening day by day.
There's some, I mean, you can find them all you want. What do they care?
No, we have to make them care.
They have billions of dollars.
We can't,
Right.
we can't go back and forth.
Right. Look, I don't want us to tolerate substantial work from utilities on Wilkes-Barre streets, and we need to do something about it. And Virginia, I am so sorry. This has been your fifth time to come to council. I'm very sorry that you have to come, and you're right. It's not fair.
It is. I don't see any reason for it.
Anybody else?
Let me just add something, because yesterday's newspaper that was just dropped off to me that I didn't read was complaining about how utilities companies, this is an editorial in your paper, how utilities were short-shifting the city back in 1882 on street lamps, on the fuel that lit street lamps. And city council back in 1882 went after utility companies. So that's 144 years that we seem to be fighting with utility companies, and we're still doing it.
I've had it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sam Troy.
Can I go back? to the issues of gun violence. I know you might be all tired of hearing about that. And the only solution that I can come up with, I mean, I'm no genius, but it only seems reasonable, as I've been mentioning before. And I bring this up again because, as I understand it, I just found out about this a day or two ago. There was an attempted murder and a suicide up at Odyssey Fitness Center in the car, a lover's quarrel or something, with a gun-related death. Now, does that, and there was another gun incident. Some woman was robbed at gunpoint. I don't remember what street it was, in the city a week or two ago, her purse. Luckily, she wasn't injured or killed. So my question to the mayor and to you five is, what are we going to do about it? How do we address this? Do we just continue to ignore it? I guess that's the so-called solution you people have, especially you people who advocate guns. Now, I'm not disparaging you for that, Mr. Barre. I know you carry one of those with you. The only solution to the gun problem is to have more guns, I guess, to fight it. How about protection of our men in blue, our brave men in blue? How do we try to enhance that? I think, well, you're not going to see any legislation, as I keep maintaining, on the national or the state level to get guns out of people's hands who who shouldn't have them, criminals or whatever. So the only solution, as I see it, is a gun buyback as far as the simplest rational approach. Now, Mr. Brooks indicated he was open to that, and of course the idea didn't go anywhere because Mr. Brooks didn't bring up a motion, and I guess it died like a lot of other good things around here. I've called Chief Coffey. I've called the DA, not the DA himself, but an assistant DA over the courthouse. Neither of them ever got back to me. Mayor Brown doesn't return my calls. Mr. Brooks has the same attitude right now about this, for which maybe I can't blame them. I guess I'm a persona non grata around here. You know what that means, right? I just continue. I know, I guess like hitting your head against the wall, but I keep trying nevertheless. So I want to save lives. I don't know about you. And I want to protect our men in blue to the greatest extent. Is there anything wrong with that? I mean, maybe you have a better idea to do it, to protect the public citizens, to protect the men in blue, because in the future you're going to see more deaths, more shootings. Maybe not more deaths, maybe not. I mean, when does it end? So do you people ever think that if you sit back and do nothing about it, like some king who's usurping another king, that you might, because how does he usurp? With violence, right? How does one person seize power in a coup? Generally by violence. Blood on your hands. I mean, I think of it that way. But if you sit back and do nothing, I think to a certain extent you guys have blood on your hands. I want to do something. I mean, I'm a public citizen. So far, I haven't encountered any incident with a gun. I mean, nobody's threatened me with a gun. So it's not necessarily a personal thing. But I think it's something we got to think about community-wide and do something about. It's about time we do something. And that's the only thing I can see. Now, Tim Henry indicates to me that, I think you said, Tim, it's never been done on a local level. Well, let's see what the lawful restrictions are to doing that, to have the police department do that. Is it quite some not? Just think if that gun up at Odyssey, if there was a gun buyback a couple of weeks before that, and the guy who had the gun said, you know, I could use the $500 or whatever that they're going to offer me back there instead of this damn gun. I'm going to go down and sell it. Okay, and Mr. Brown maintains only the bad people will keep the guns and the good people won't. Well, how do we know that's necessarily true? And how do you distinguish a defining line between good and bad, Mr. Brown? There's a lot of ambiguity in this world. That's all I have to say about that. The other thing is a plea, and I would like a couple ideas to be considered for the new year, and what your reaction to them is like, to get the citizens more involved. A so-called Citizens Advisory Committee that I've been pushing, a concept that I've been pushing for years and years, that is maintained on certain levels. I know in Brooklyn they have one, where any legislation, any resolutions that are brought before council and passed have to be run through this advisory committee first. And the citizens of this people deserve to get more involved, even though you see nobody showing up, and they seem reluctant to do so. It's about time, and people like her who are frustrated can air their frustrations out to this committee first, and the mayor and you people will have to listen better. That's one way. Another way, in the last few seconds I have, is to make a plea for Mr. Brown and you people to have some mitigation of the doubling of that sewer fee and the fact that we are getting double whammy with Mike Belisco's vote to increase our sewer connection fee, some way to mitigate that. Thank you for your attention.
Sam, so a few months ago, you brought up the gun buyback, and I told you...
What's that?
A few months ago, you brought up the gun buyback, and I said to you, bring me some numbers, because what I've researched, it does not work. You were supposed to do some research and get back to me?
Now, what exactly do you want? You want the experiences
somebody
of other
who's done it.
communities, right?
Give me somebody who successfully has done it. How many they've, how
I
much
want
it
to find out who's
costs.
been successful at
We
it.
need to know the cost. We need to know how many of guns actually have bought back.
That's my assignment.
It's your assignment, Sam.
Should I accept it?
Choose it if you may.
It's your choice.
Gladly. And I will find out. And when I come up with information,
Bring it to me.
you might act on it? You
I
promise?
might. We'll have to see what you come with.
Mr. Brooks, do I have the
Anybody
same
else?
commitment from him?
Anybody?
No,
Because you were
I
receptive?
wasn't going to say anything on this, but I'm going to. Whether you like it
How
or
about
not.
Mayor Brown?
Gun violence is not unique to the city of Wilkes-Barre.
Right.
You know that. It's not unique to the city. Gun violence is not unique to our small city.
It cannot be
It's
done,
a-
or it will?
Sam.
You're not listening to what I'm
Listen.
saying.
Huh?
I said gun violence is not unique to the city of Wilkes-Barre. It's a nationwide problem.
I understand
There have
that.
been several attempts.
We've gotta do
at
something.
gun-
Sam, you gotta let him finish.
There have been several attempts, unsuccessful attempts, to change gun laws. And I'm an advocate of changing them. I think that we've gotten way too loose with them. I also don't believe that gun buyback programs are going to alleviate what you're talking about. I think they help if you've senior citizen has a gun laying around the house and they don't want it anymore, they want to get rid of it, but they don't want it in their home any longer. I don't believe the criminals are going to be lining up at the door over there to sell their guns. It's not going to
You need
happen.
the money.
No. No, they find other ways to get money, believe me.
How do you know, Mr. Brown? We
No,
never,
All right.
I think our chairwoman has said that she's researched it as well, and I've looked at it, and there have been gun buyback programs. I'm not against them.
aha.
But I'm not against them, but I don't think that's the solution that you're looking for, the
You
answer.
don't think what?
It's not the answer to what you're
Oh.
talking about.
It might help a little.
Thank you, Sam.
You agree?
Thank you.
Thank you. Brian Ferry?
Hi, Brian Ferry, 147 South Washington Street. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
It's going to be a great year for Wilkes-Barre. I think a lot of good things are going to happen. So, I know in the paper that, Mrs. McClay here had mentioned a few things that I would like to talk to council about. That there was a mention of e-bikes recently, and I'm an avid cyclist. I do tons of riding, and I don't think that registration and licensure, all that stuff, is going to be terribly effective in mitigating some of the problems that we see, particularly with e-bikes. I think the biggest problem that we see with e-bikes that I personally see and have observed is education. People don't know how to ride a bike. It's not as easy as riding a bike, you know? Just because you can propel a bike and stay upright, it doesn't mean you know how to ride a bike. And I think a lot of that comes to education. Education and infrastructure. Back in 2020, I believe, 2019, 2020, Barry Izard and Associates did a bike ped study and has provided recommendations for cycling infrastructure in Luzerne and Lackawanna County, and it primarily focused in the downtown core of Wilkes-Barre and the downtown core of Scranton. So I think the best and first place to start with understanding how e-bikes are a problem is taking a look at the infrastructure. The infrastructure isn't there, and the education isn't there. So providing, signage, or painted lines, anything like that. Anything that we can indicate to cyclists, hey, you are supposed to be going with traffic. Hey, you should be on this street. You should be here. You know, cyclists on this street can use the full lane. Anything like that. So if you have any questions at all, I didn't do too much work on that project, but I can certainly answer any questions that you would have pertaining to that study and how we could be implementing that in Wilkes-Barre. These studies don't do any good if all it does is sit on a shelf and collect dust. We you know, the city or the county, the MPO spent a lot of money having this study done, and it is bonkers to just let it sit on a shelf and not be executed. So I think that looking at education and infrastructure needs to be the first priority, and registration licensure being lowest on the priority list as far as e-bikes go. Again, any questions, feel free to reach out. And the other thing that was mentioned was updating the zoning ordinance, and I absolutely agree that that needs to be revised. There are many shortfalls with the zoning ordinance, and I do believe that that needs to be revised. Now, the big caveat to that is a zoning ordinance has to be reflected upon the comprehensive plan. And Charlie, you know this. You know, so the comprehensive plan has to come first. We're currently working with a comprehensive plan from 1972, 3? And that is not acceptable. So if we are going to be looking at a zoning ordinance update, it needs to reflect the goals, priorities, ambitions for Wilkes-Barre that are laid out in the comprehensive plan. So that, this is what I do for a living. I recently earned my AICP, so I'm a certified planner now. So again, you know, there's a certain order of operations. And so if we want to execute a new zoning ordinance, it has to be grounded in law. It has to be grounded in those principles. Otherwise, the zoning ordinance doesn't really have a whole lot of bearing in it. It can be questioned as legal grounding.
Thank you, and congratulations on your license.
Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yep.
That Barry Eisen survey, I used to go to those meetings. Have they been meeting at all, the MPO? I have not. It's been years since I've been to them.
Question. I'm not.
Do you think that Barry Eisen, is it Eisen, Barry Eisen?
Isaac.
Isaac, is that study online somewhere?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, that is available on the MPO website, but I could also email a copy of that to you all.
All right, please do.
Yes.
And then on the e-bikes, remember the last time we chatted about the legislation in Harrisburg that House Member Jill Cooper was sponsoring? We don't know if this was passed yet, or we don't know the status of that. That gives us more tools.
Right.
Right, so we have to look into this as well. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else got anything? Motion adjourned. All right. Yay. Still alive.